Hello developers. Today I am going to explain about data binding concept. Before going to that, previous class we learn how to install project and about these all files. So today we will continue this. If you did not watch that video, link given in description, you can go and check it. So first terminal, new terminal. To start means to run this project, command is npm start. See here, see for starting ngserve or start npm, I am giving npm start. If we want to modify this start command, we can modify here. See ngserve. See, this is the URL to run. So I am clicking on it. Automatically that page is implementing. See localhost 4200. This is here whatever we wrote in app.component.html file, everything is mentioned there. See styles and tags, media queries, everything. If I remove this and I am adding small h1 tag, so I am running. See here, welcome to learners area. If we want to apply any styles to it, we can choose CSS file. That h1 direct tags, h1 tag I am applying. Color red, justify content, center. We'll see what will be the output. Justify content will work whenever we place display flex. See, like this we can apply styles. If we apply any, we can apply logic in TS file. So now coming into picture, like today we are discussing about data binding, right? We have two types of data bindings: one-way data binding, two-way data binding. In one-way data binding, we have concept like three concepts. Concept A is string interpolation. Concept B, property binding. Concept C, event binding. So we can learn one by one. String interpolation, first one. String interpolation means if I write any data in TS file, see here title. This title, by using string interpolation, I am using in HTML file. H1, any tag we can use. String interpolation represented two curly braces. Here inside, this is the title, right? The title name means variable name. We can give here inside it. See, we can check Angular project by using TS file data. TS file data, if we want to display in HTML, if we want to display in browser by using HTML like this, string interpolation. In string interpolation, we cannot do like window operators and assignment operator. Means, for example, here I am doing 2 plus 3 addition. It will work. See, 5. Directly it is adding these two and printing. Similarly, we can add and we can find the operators, everything. We can write the methods, everything. But assignment operator and window operators won't work. For example, a equal to, I am adding 2 plus 3 here. If I run, see, here issue is coming. Similarly, window operators means window dot location dot href. Normally location everything will come by using this window operators, but see, same issue. So window properties does not exist. By using string interpolation, we can't do these two, assignment operations and window operators. This is all about string interpolation. Similarly, property binding. So, property binding we can represent like this, square bracket. But for this, why we are using property binding instead of string interpolation is, I will give you one example. For example, input type equal to text, value equal to learner's area, issue we can see once. This my ID I will send from TS. Form element must have labels. Element has no title attribute. Element has no placeholder attribute. So we can mention placeholder. See issue gone. So I am passing TS to HTML by using string interpolation my ID. Now we can run and see. My ID does not exist. See, my ID does not that naming convention I make before wrong, so spelling mistakes. See, it is working fine. I'm entering values. See, I'm entering values, but similarly disabled I am using. Disabled equal to true I am passing from TS file. If we pass true, it should be disabled. If we pass false, it should be enabled. But see here, true. If I pass false, currently it is in disable mode. See, if we pass true, it is disable on. But if I pass false, see what will be the output. Still it is disable mode only. This is the wrong access now. So to overcome this issue, property binding is coming into picture. So property binding we can write like this. Now we can see I am placing as a true. When it is true, it is disabled. When it is false, it is enabled. See, I am entering data, so it is working fine. Now event binding we can check. So event binding means events, like whenever I click on, for example, see, I am clicking, if I click on button, type equal to submit. So here I am using one method, one event, whenever click event, whenever I click, this method will call. Inside this method I am passing this value, whatever value is entered above. Or else we can directly go with like this button. Why? Because here reactive forms or template driven forms we can use. The topic I will cover in future. I'm consoling console.log learners area, like, share, comment. So we'll see in browser. See, this is the button. Whenever I click, right click on mouse, this tab will open. Here console will come. This is the console. Now we'll see. Whenever I click on it, just a minute. We can check through inspect. We can debug line where the issue came. src app inside HTML. See, I kept a debugger here and here. Whenever we click on this, See now, before I did not saved it properly. See, whenever I click on it, I am removing these debuggers. I am clearing this console. Whenever I click, that learners area like share comment is coming 2 times, 3, 4, 5. That is about event binding. So briefly we have again I am explaining about two-way data binding. In two-way data binding, okay, let me clear about one-way data binding clearly. Only one way, like either TS to HTML or HTML to TS file, we can send the data. So by using string interpolation, we can share the data from TS file to HTML file. From property binding, also sharing the data from TS to HTML, but event binding is sharing data to HTML file to TS file. Means I am clicking here, this is method, so I am sharing from here to here. This is all about one-way data binding. Now two-way data binding means HTML to TS, TS to HTML, we can share the data. I am removing all the content, and here see I am using one ID. Button also I am removing. Here h1 tag I am using. And using input model, input method, input equal to type on me dollar event. This dollar event gave all the details about this input type. Go to TS file, console.log, event. That event I am taking from here. Type of the event is any, because we don't know the type. Means sometimes I will give number, sometimes I will give just a minute. I am saving all the documents. Here h1 tag extra I am using. See, whenever I enter data, if I click on console, input event, see value, just a minute, I will clear all. See, now A I am entering. Now data C A. This is about event. In event we can grab all the data, and this is about two-way data binding. Input I am entering here. This is the response. In better way I will give by using one more example for two-way data binding. We can use ngModel, means template driven form. I will give you details about template driven form, but first we can check about ngModel, means two-way data binding. ngModel equal to name. That name I am printing here. By using string interpolation. First I am using name. TS to HTML data is going, and whenever I enter data in HTML, it will directly go to TS file, then again reflect to HTML file. So I can check. See here, one more issue is coming. Can't bind ngModel. So ngModel is not known property. So we need to import forms module. Import. And here also comma. Forms model. Import is done, and these are standalone components, means we don't have app.module.ts file. If you observe anywhere we did not see. So without app.module.ts file we can directly import here only. That is called standalone components. If we have app.module.ts file we can directly import these forms module in that app.component.ts file. Currently we don't have, right? So we can mention standalone true. Now we can we are importing new file now, so we can do npm again. We can do npm start. Why? Because every import we need to write again, means from the starting we should run. See now, Angular project. This is TS file. I wrote Angular project. So TS to HTML it is coming. Now HTML input box I am entering data. It is going to TS file and again TS to HTML. So two ways. Either HTML to TS and TS to HTML, two ways it is going. This is about two-way data binding. So for brief intro, we have two types of data binding. Means data binding means we can share the data from TS to HTML or HTML file to TS file. So we have two types of data bindings. One-way data binding and two-way data binding. In one-way data binding we have string interpolation, property binding, event binding. In string interpolation we can represent it as curly braces. Property binding we can represent it as square brackets. Event binding we can represent it as curly normal braces, means all events like click event, blur, on click, on mouse over. These all events, these all about one-way data binding, means string interpolation will send the data from TS to HTML. Property binding also will share the data from TS to HTML. Event binding will share the data from HTML to TS file. But two-way data binding, we can share the data to TS to HTML and HTML file to TS. ngModel is the best example for two-way data binding. This is all about data binding. If you have any doubts in this concept, please comment me. If you like this video, please like, share and comment. Thank you.